Doby the Orange Cat, the True Adventurer. Episode 2, The Shadow That Walks at Moonrise. The Kiyomori forest was never truly silent. Even at night when the wind calmed and the stars blinked above the pines, Doby could hear whispers, rustling leaves, murmurs between trees, and the occasional flap of wings in the dark. On his 6th day in the land of Sakura, Doby was beginning to feel both awe and unease. Inari had taught him many things: how to sense the flow of the forest, how to avoid the nests of whispering beetles, and how to listen not just with his ears, but with his whiskers. But none of that prepared him for the night of the blood moon. "Stay close," Inari warned, his red scarf fluttering in the chilly wind. The hunters don't just follow tracks, they follow fear. The two moved carefully through the mossy undergrowth. Doby's paws barely made a sound, yet his heart thudded like a war drum. Suddenly, war! A roar erupted from deep within the woods. Not animal, not human. Something between both. A sound that scraped against his memories like claws against wood. "What are the shadow hunters?" Doby asked as they hid beneath the roots of an old cedar tree. "They were once protectors long ago," Inari the white fox that replied grimly. "But when the balance of the world tipped, they began hunting what they couldn't understand. Visitors, strangers, jewels from beyond, like me." Doby whispered. Inari nodded silently. That night they didn't sleep. Instead, they followed the sound of the roaring until it led them to a clearing, where the moon bathed the land in crimson. There, standing in the middle of the field, was a dark four-legged figure. It looked like a jackal made of smoke, with empty eyes and horns curling like broken branches. But it wasn't attacking, it was sniffing, listening, and then it turned its head directly toward the root where Doby and Inari were hiding. "It senses you." Inari's voice trembled for the first time. Before Doby could react, the ground behind them shivered. The roots trembled. The wind held its breath. A second shadow rose from the earth, smaller than the jackal, but quicker. With a blur, it leapt toward them. "Run!" Inari barked. They bolted, between trunks. Over rocks, under glowing mushroom arches, the forest became a blur of color and breath and thudding paws. Doby's body moved on instinct, swift as lightning. But in his heart, a question pulsed louder than his fear. "Why me? Why do they want me? What is it that I carry without knowing?" They barely escaped. At the edge of a silver river, guarded by singing frogs, the shadows stopped chasing. Inari collapsed beside him, panting. This is not just a visit anymore, Doby. You were brought here for something greater." Doby stared at the reflection in the water. His orange fur rippled in the current, but behind him, he saw not just his reflection, but something inside him, a symbol glowing faintly on his forehead. "What is that?" he gasped. Inari looked and went still. You bear the mark of the World Walker. That hasn't appeared in generations." The forest hushed. Even the frogs stopped singing. Doby looked up at the sky, the blood moon now fading, and he whispered, "Then I guess I'm not just an adventurer. I'm part of something much bigger." To be continued. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share the journey. More mysteries await in the next episode of Doby the Orange Cat, the True Adventurer.
Thank you, Dan. Terima kasih.